disagreed vehemently with her parents over her relationship with her 19-year-old boyfriend, Bruno Santos. Sarah's parents threatened to file statutory rape charges against Santos and have him deported unless the two stopped seeing one another. Instead, prosecutors say Sarah turned to violence. In October of 2003, Sarah Johnson was charged as an adult.
Sarah, I have a warrant for your arrest for the murder of your parents, Diane and Alan Johnson. Charged with 2 counts of murder. And you're under arrest. Okay? Stand up.
It was a sad moment because it's a 16-year-old that did this. It's sad for everybody involved.
The trial of a teenage girl killing her parents was a national sensation.
There were 3 people in the Johnson house that morning when Alan and Diane were murdered. 2 of them did not come out. 1 person came out alive. That person sits right there. Sarah Marie Johnson.
At trial, prosecutors presented voluminous forensic and circumstantial evidence to prove that Sarah murdered her parents.
She wanted the big, rich things in her life. She wanted to provide for her boyfriend. They were going to get married, and she asked him, do you want to live in a big, beautiful home?
With her parents' life insurance and her inheritance, she thought she'd be all set.
And she could live that happily ever after life that only a 16-year-old probably envisions.
In a surprise turn of events, Sarah's boyfriend, Bruno Santos, testified for the prosecution, primarily to show he had nothing to do with the murders.
He did testify that Sarah had talked about hating her dad and about shooting him, given the fact that he did not like their relationship.
Prosecutors believe that Sarah chose murder instead of ending her relationship with Santos. She knew that the man renting her parents' guest house had a hunting rifle, so she waited for him to leave for the weekend and stole it. On the morning of the murders, Sarah put on her bathrobe backwards, the gloves, and a shower cap. After hearing her father go into the shower, she entered the bedroom and fired from close range at her mother. The blood spatter landed in Sarah's room, contradicting her story that she was asleep with her bedroom door closed. Her father heard the shot. He came running into the bedroom, and Sarah shot her father in the chest. Sarah attempted to mislead investigators by placing knives at the foot of her parents' bed to make it appear that the murders were gang-related. She flushed the shower cap down the toilet, where plumbers found it several weeks later when it clogged the drain. She threw the gloves and bathrobe into the trash. Then she ran next door to report her parents' murders, looking remarkably free of blood spatter. But she left more than enough evidence behind.
Had that garbage container been picked up, you would have lost the robe and you'd have lost gloves that had Sarah Johnson's DNA.
Sarah was just fascinated with crime stories. And so we felt that based upon just this exposure from novels, from television, that Sarah very likely would have understood evidence, how to get rid of it, and that's probably what led her to do some of the things she did.
Sarah Johnson was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 2 life terms without parole. She will never be released from prison.
There was a mixed emotion. I was glad that they found her guilty because in my heart I believe she was, but it hurt to see some family member get in that situation.
What happened was hard for jurors and even investigators to believe. forensic evidence left no doubt that Sarah Johnson murdered her parents.
Without having the robe, which contained the leather glove, the latex glove, and all the blood, I do not believe we would have ever been able to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt to a jury.
Circumstantial evidence is too hard to convict people on circumstantial evidence alone. You need that forensic evidence because this is a first-degree murder charge.
It makes me wonder what was going through Sarah's head when she committed this terrible crime, of how she could do this to her parents.